You know those at-home DNA tests? The ones you do just for fun, out of curiosity? Well, believe it or not, they're now sparking some incredibly complex and really expensive legal battles over family fortunes right here in India. It's a classic case of a 21st century problem running headfirst into some very old inheritance laws.
Just imagine this for a second. A total stranger gets in touch with you. They've got a DNA report and it proves they're a close relative you never even knew existed. And their next move? They want a piece of your family's estate. Sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? But this is a real-life drama playing out for families in India. So what on earth does the law say about this? And this is all happening because of the massive boom in these at-home DNA tests. I mean, while they're great for connecting families, they are also digging up secrets that have been buried for generations. This is creating a whole new wave of what you could call surprise heirs, and they are not hesitating to take their claims to court.
Okay, so this brings us to the real showdown here. It's a clash between modern science and established Indian law. You would think, hey, a DNA match is a slam dunk, right? Irrefutable proof. But in an Indian courtroom, well, it's not quite that simple. Scientific certainty does not automatically mean you're going to win in court.
So let's break this conflict down. On one side, you have the cold, hard science of a DNA test. It gives you a biological fact. But on the other side, you've got Indian law, which really prioritizes principles like the right to privacy and the stability of the family unit over just biology. You see, the court's goal is often to protect existing families from being suddenly and completely upended.
Now, the biggest, most powerful legal shield in these cases is something called the presumption of legitimacy. Under Indian law, if a child is born while a couple is married, the law conclusively presumes the husband is the legitimate father. And trust me, that word conclusively is the key. It is one of the strongest legal ideas out there, and it's incredibly difficult to challenge, even with a DNA test in your hand.
So you see, if you are the one trying to use a DNA test to claim an inheritance, you are up against some major hurdles. First off, the right to privacy. A court can't just force someone to take a DNA test. Then there's that super strong presumption of legitimacy we just talked about. It's the default setting for the law. And finally, the courts themselves will only order a DNA test as an absolute last resort, only in the most exceptional cases where they feel it's essential for a just decision.
But okay, let's step away from the legal jargon for a minute. What are the real-world consequences? What does this actually feel like for the people involved? Because these legal battles have a huge impact that goes way beyond the courtroom, taking a heavy toll on a family's finances and, of course, the relationships.
The most immediate hit is financial. We're not talking about simple legal disputes here. These are complex, drawn-out battles that can go on for years. The legal fees can absolutely skyrocket and end up draining the very estate that everyone is fighting over in the first place.
And get this, while the legal battle is raging on, the inheritance is essentially frozen. Property can't be sold, investments are locked, money can't be distributed. The family's entire net worth is just in limbo, sometimes for years, which prevents anyone from being able to move on with their lives.
But you know, money is one thing. The heaviest cost, the real damage, is the emotional toll. Fights over inheritance are notorious for tearing families apart. When you throw a DNA bombshell into that mix, it can create wounds that may never, ever heal, destroying family bonds for good.
So this all sounds pretty scary, right? So what can you actually do to protect your family and your assets from this kind of turmoil? Let's look at a proactive roadmap, some steps you can take to safeguard your estate.
All right, here are 5 key steps. First, create a clear, comprehensive will. This is your #1 line of defense. Leave no room for anybody to guess what you wanted. Second, think about a family trust. This lets assets be managed privately, keeping things out of the long and very public court process. Third, keep meticulous records of all your family relationships. Fourth, and this one is crucial, get help. Consult with an estate planning expert who can create a strategy just for your family's situation. And finally, don't just set it and forget it. Review and update your plan regularly. Life changes, and your estate plan needs to keep up. And this really brings us to the fundamental takeaway. As one expert put it, simply presenting a DNA match does not automatically grant a right to inheritance. It really says it all. A DNA match might be the start of a conversation, but it is not an automatic key to the family vault. In the end, the law has the final say.
So we're left with a pretty critical question. As technology continues to race ahead of our legal systems, this whole DNA dilemma serves as a pretty stark reminder. It really challenges us all to look beyond our traditional ideas of estate planning and ask ourselves, are we truly prepared for all the complexities of the 21st century?